I don't know if this is working, but I'm gonna try this. Hopefully my mic is good. But it's 5:44 a.m. 4/22/2024, and I was laying down and I was having some thoughts. And somebody always like told me before, like, instead of writing down your thoughts, why not just record them and share them? And I feel like after typing for so long, it like starts to get like drastic. It starts to get to a point where it's like how much of this is someone gonna actually read? What's the point of actually like writing it? And it's good to even just jot down something, just a quick note. But I was like, what am I gonna lose from just like making this video right now? And I was having a thought in my head about expression. I don't really remember what is like beginning to like lead me to this thought or why I'm feeling this way, but I just thought expression was so real and it's so important, and expression is literally everything. Expression is freedom to create, whether it be writing, art, music, um whatever like it is, your daily job, like whatever. It's just creating is just you being a human waking up on a daily basis. I always like to say, like, before my actual 9 to 5, my normal 9 to 5 is me being a functional, responsible human being. And I want to make this video as raunchy and raw as possible. I don't want a professional setting. People get up on here and they do their makeup and they like to sit up, put on clothes. I just want, like, I was strictly about to go to sleep and I just want to make this video and I want to just come off just raw from the dome. I wrote everything down already, and it would be cool to just like read it so I could just remember what I was saying, but hopefully it'll come back to me. And if it doesn't, then I'm just gonna look at like my notes on my phone. And in my head, I was thinking, in a time and a place where, especially now in 2024, in the life that we live, where like people would rather see you like built in fear and the world built off terror. People would rather like see you like broken down and like just beat up, and that's like normal. Like people rather root against you, and in a world where confidence is like strange, to believe in yourself, to believe that you can do anything, like set astray, like people call you crazy for that. They call you cocky. They just say it's nonsense because they can't imagine the state of like where you can see yourself in. Most of the world, I can't think of how many dreams have been shattered because of other people. In a world where all these emotions are felt and heartbreak is felt through people. It's so interesting because it's like the only reason that you have to blame for heartbreak or depression is because of people, like whether it be a loss of a family member, loss of someone you love. Like you wake up one day and you're the only person here, like, and you have no recollection of like actual person or people. It's like what instills happiness, sadness, freedom. It's like the whole goal here is driven around others, and it's hard to be selfish in a world where so many other people like bite and take. And like there's nothing I'm trying to like preach or like get through. I think the thought that I was just having, that it's so important to believe in yourself and to know what you're capable of. And for me, it took a lot of, oh, this isn't even about me, but for me personally, it took a lot of like self-doubt. It took a lot of depression and anxiety. And anxiety was my biggest thing. That was like the jack of all trades. It took like everything for me to be able to be by myself and dig myself out of that hole and not have a helping hand and have someone teach me how to express and how to feel. Most people feel emotions and they feel how they don't necessarily want to, and they go to other people and other people make it worse. And I think it's okay to go with people. I think it's okay to go to people like with your problems, whether it be therapy, whether it be someone you love, girlfriend, other boyfriend, whatever. Um, I just think the most important thing is like knowing that you are like almost like alien. Like you there's so much that you can create yet destroy. Like you can create and embellish the whole opportunity of your career in this life and set forward of what you have planned. And it could take you to the stratosphere, but if you listen to one minor person's a like opinion that doesn't really matter, but you make it matter, it can drive you to a point of like discernment. Like you can be disheartened because in this life, all we have like is thoughts and opinions. And one of the greatest quotes I think I've ever heard is, everyone has opinions, they're like assholes and they all stink, something like that. I could be a little off, but the most important thing about like what I'm trying to say, if any of it is important at all to whoever sees this, is that to believe in yourself and to know like what you're capable of, like beyond measure. to know that it's okay to listen to people, but to drive off your own fuel. Like from this soil and this plantation, it's brought me so much hurt, so much disappointment, so much discernment, so much love, and it's brought me so much creativity. And the message of all of this, which is expression, is just to create and to feel and to not be so like stable and be okay. And the world drives you to a point of like it can paralyze you mentally, not even physically. It paralyzes you mentally to the point where it eventually does paralyze you physically. You get to a point where all you're using is your body, and it gets you to a point where like you're doing this because you have to when you don't even really want to, whether it be you working somewhere that you want to be, that you don't want to be, and like you set yourself astray. And I know that happens to so many of us. And the best part that I always like to remind myself is that I'm so human. Like, and that like may be so confusing to some people, but I remind myself that because like I really get to a point where it's like, damn, like I'm so human. Like the things that I feel, I get to not, I wouldn't call it a head high, but I get to a point where I'm so confident and I believe in myself so much because of like things that I felt, and from a point that like I had to get to dig myself out of a hole. No one had to feel how I felt or have the emotions that I had. Everyone's emotions are different, and what I'm trying to relay, the message I'm trying to relay, and the point I'm trying to get through is that like someone's emotions and problems can like cast upon you. I always tell people that people are dull, especially people that maybe that I work with. Like it's all dual personalities. I like to be like, I'm not gonna say fun and be like the cringe and like raw, but like I just think a lot of things are funny. Like a lot of things in this life are funny to me because like there's not so many. Once you get to a point where there's so little of things that you can control, there's a huge majority that you can. But in the instance of all, there's like illness that could strike, and it's like you have no control over that. And I always try and like preach the message that I would always be the person to be confident and be happy, smiling, rather be the person that be dull and have that and be that in someone else's life, and be able to like cast iron upon them and make their life dull. And it's just like cut the head of the snake off and the rest of the body shreds. I think it is so important to believe in yourself, and whether you have people that you love and like you like being around, I think it's important to like feel and to be by yourself and to know to get to a point where it's like it's okay to remove yourself from people that you don't see and feel that are happy for you. You know, I I often like sit by myself and think often like how many times do I feel like the message that I'm not that I'm preaching, because I'm not trying to preach a message. I think the message like that most people take from others is like their opinion, and that opinion goes from an opinion to a message, and that message is like forefront, like it's like they have to listen to it. And I'm not, the correlation on like how that works is off for me, and I'm trying to like put it together, and I'm trying to piece this all together from like what I wrote. And like there's so many things that I wrote down just in case, there's so many things that like I wrote down that I want to be able to share here. And I wrote that we live in a time and place currently on the soil that terror and fear is the ultimate weapon, and it paralyzes people mentally to a degree where they would rather die than try. So many what ifs, so many but hows. Break the slate and be the living embodiment of confidence. Let no trial or error go unnoticed, and absorb all the energy needed to be felt to allow you to feel torn in this world. Once you've allowed the higher you to feel like nothing, be the natural source of your own light, and realize that it is okay to turn your back on people who will let you down effortlessly. People's heartbreaks come from people, which was what I was trying to say, but I was getting thrown off. Don't worry about others and how they can make you feel or how they cannot make you feel. Worry about how you're able to bring yourself to a point of where you can feel oh so capable to be. I love this world and plantation with every atom cast upon my body, even when it's discarded my natural being. Love and loved always, so on. And I'm not trying to make this super long video about anything. I just want to like just share how I may be feeling instead of just writing it down, because this started to get super lengthy for no reason. But that's all I wanted to say. And who saves a superhero?